Good morning. Welcome to Walking Boxing. It is Saturday, April 26th, 2025. And a little bit different today with the walk and talk because I'm alone. No Neil at the moment because we actually just went for a walk. And it's very wet today, let's just say. So we went for a walk. We got about 20 minutes in, which is probably about the time I start to get prepared for the video, and then it started getting heavier and heavier and heavier. It was just a slight drizzle when we left, and I thought, I could handle that. But as I said, as we went on, it got heavier, and to the point we had to get to the football oval and get under shelter for a while. It just kept coming, so I had to call the wife to come and pick me up, which is the bit of the drive of shame, isn't it? I said I didn't need a brolly, I'll be right. Then I had to make the call, you better come and get her. So we've just got home. We've cleaned Neil up because he was absolutely soaking wet, and we've got a little bit of reprieve in the weather, so I thought I'd just go for a walk and do the video anyway, rather than just doing it out on my back porch. It's still a beautiful morning. It's not cold or anything. It's just been very, very wet. So a little bit happening in the last sort of 24 hours. Of course, we had the Eubank and Benn weigh-in that we'll get to in a sec, but of course, we've got to do what happened on this day. I just didn't realise how much easier it is to do it by yourself. I haven't got my hands full. I haven't got a dog pulling on the lead and getting under my feet. It's actually a lot easier. Don't worry though. I won't start doing it solo. I'll make sure I have Neil every day. It's all good. All right. Back in when was it? 1975. This was one of those, maybe the start of all this ridiculous stuff going on with YouTube and the influencers and all that. Back in 1975, George Foreman fought 5 fighters in one night. Now, if you're a hardcore fan, you'll probably already know that, but if you're not, this happened, doesn't actually say when it happened, where it happened. I think from memory, because I remember Muhammad Ali was there. And he was really, I think he was a guest commentator, and he was getting really stuck into George, and because this was supposed to start talk about the rematch. And he fought 5, let's just say, journeymen for the night and knocked them all out. And he thought that would sort of get people talking. All it did was pretty much make a mockery of him. So yeah, as I said, it was probably maybe the start of all the stupid stuff that people do these days. But anyway. Also on this day, if I can find it there, was it April 26th? And hope you had a good Anzac Day yesterday too, by the way, guys. I was absolutely buggered. I lasted still till about 11 o'clock, stubbornly. Got watching TV, yeah, probably should have went to bed an hour earlier. But anyway, yeah, you make up for it along the line, don't you? But in 1993, Miguel Angel Gonzalez defeated Hector Lopez. I think he was another Jeff Fennick. No, he was a Costa Tszyu opponent, was Hector Lopez, on points to defend the WBC lightweight title. That was in Mexico. In 2003, Antonio Tarver won the WBC light heavyweight championship, beating Montel Griffith over 12 rounds. That was in Ledyard, Connecticut. And in 2003, Oscar Larios defeated Japan's Shigeru Nakazato on points in Tokyo for the WBC Super Bantamweight title. 2014 at the StubHub Center, been there a few times, great venue. Omar Figueroa defended the WBC lightweight title with a win over Jerry Belamontes on points. Then 2019, I remember this fight, Francisco Estrada beat Surasket Rungvisai. You remember Rungvisai did knock out Gonzalez twice. He definitely knocked him out the first time. Chocolatito. That was in Inglewood, California. That was for the WBC Super Flyweight title. So yeah, 2019. Geez, those Super Flyweights had some ripper fights back in the day, didn't they? I was lucky enough to be at the Chocolatito, and actually I've seen a few of the super flies actually. The Chocolatito and Carlos Quadros fight, I think I mentioned that the other day. So I saw that in 2016 at the Inglewood Forum. And then the Superfly tournament in 2017 when Gonzalez was knocked out by Rungvisai. Sorry, I was about to call him something else, Rungvisai. So, yeah, some good fights there. All right, so the weigh-in this morning, well, it sort of went, the way of sort of no drama until, of course, Chris Eubank went to make weight. So, very, very harsh penalty, 0.05 ounces over the weight limit. And he's been penalised £300,000. Now, doing the sums on that, now the site I read it on, I think had it in US dollars, which is about 500, I think they said. But in Australian dollars, $780,000 he was penalised. Can you get your head around that? $780,000 for being 0.05 ounces over. Now, the big question is, why couldn't he lose 0.05 ounces? Now, he was obviously already really drained at the weight because he's come down from 168. Always did the weight pretty hard, but he was 0.05, and he had a real crack at Eddie Hearn and kind of been afterwards. But look, end of the day, as harsh as it is, a contract's a contract. So even though I think kind of Benn and Eddie Hearn really probably enjoyed pointing out the contract that he's, it was 160 or it was a fine. And then you got Eubank's Junior's team probably saying, hey, come on, guys, this is ridiculous. But they've pointed out that the contract's a contract and you've got to pay up. So, and as I said, the big question is why couldn't he lose it? But he was already drained, and for that amount of weight, though, I'm pretty sure they give you, or they do give you a minimum, I think it's 2 hours, sometimes 3 to make the weight. So I'm just staggered that he couldn't go away and just jump back in the sauna, or even probably just the walk to the sauna and back would have probably almost lost it. As drained as he was, I'm not sure why he couldn't lose 0.5 ounces. Now, it's not like he's got to lose, like, I know it doesn't sound a lot to the average person out there, but even half a pound, which is, it's at half a kilo, which is 1.1 pound, even that can be really tough. But when we're talking ounces, that is just bizarre. That I've done weight very hard a lot of times, and I reckon I could still squeeze out 0.5. I mean, if he had taken off his undies, or as I said, just go and walk to the sauna and jump in for 10 or 15 minutes and walk back and take his jocks off, he probably would have made the weight. So it's got me buggered, but not much to him. He's earning 10 million, or was earning $10 million. Now it's obviously $9.5 million. So, and he'll probably, if he wins his fight, he'll probably make probably twice that fight in Canelo, although there is a rematch clause in this as well. So even if he wins or loses the fight, then the odds are he'll make another 10 million in the rematch, and then probably twice that fight in Canelo if he wins. So I don't think $500,000 or 300 pounds in the scheme of things is that bad for him. But still, it's got to hurt. I mean, that's a house or something like that, isn't it, really? Or in some cases, a car, if you go for the top line cars. But yeah, pretty uneventful apart from that. They were actually allowed to actually face off properly. Then they said in the press conference the other day, they had to stand 2 or 3 metres apart. Yeah, today, I think, I've got a feeling they probably would have been warned that, hey, we're very, very close to this fight actually happening. Let's keep it clean, and any issues, then there's going to be some significant fines or whatever it might be, penalties. I've got a feeling, to be honest with you, though, that looking at Chris Eubank Jr., I think he was happy just to stand there and not move, considering how hard he'd done the weight. He didn't look great, did he? But again, I'll stand by. He should have been able to get 0.05 ounces off. But yeah, I don't think he was in much of a state to maybe slap an egg on kind of Benn again, or at least even just stand there and do the stare down. It looked like that was a bit of an effort for him, didn't it? But we've got a fight tomorrow, and I will say they've built it up really, really well. They've done a great job in really building the hype. I think the card starts here in Australia at 2 a.m. So they'll probably be on about, 6 a.m. I'm probably thinking, maybe 6 or 7. So if that's the case, I think you've still got to pay for it, though. I'm not really up for paying for the fight. I might just wait and watch it on YouTube a little bit later. I don't know. Considering you're not watching the whole card, and I might get up sort of halfway through it, whatever. I don't really want to fork out the money. So it was already hard enough doing it yesterday with Anzac Day, let alone doing it again tomorrow on a Sunday. But we'll see how we go. But one thing after the fight, the weigh-in. So I read an article this morning, and I got to me just shaking my head again, and it involves actually Tszyu, surprisingly. And it was a story, I can't remember who wrote it, but the article was Chris Eubank Jr., this is about the weigh-in, faces the same, the same situation that cost Tszyu the fight with Bakram Murtazalia, the same thing, and about the weight rehydration, because that's what I didn't mention, sorry about that. He's got to not put on any more than 10 pounds. I think it's about 4.5 or 4.6 kilos before the tomorrow morning, so the morning of the fight, and then he's free to put on whatever he wants after that. But the article was about, Tszyu had to face the same situation and ultimately cost him the fight with Bakram Murtazalia. This just reeks of, again, in my opinion, it's got nothing to do with Tim either, although he was quoted by mentioning it, but just what I was hoping doesn't happen now is that all of a sudden, based on Tim's last fight, it's all, Tim's a Superman again, and the only reason he lost to Bakram Murtazalia was the rehydration clause. And again, it's not Tim that's sort of leading the way with this, but he did comment, and I think fueled the fire just a little bit when he said that when he got into the ring with Bakram Murtazalia, he was like a walking zombie. I don't believe it, and people might say, well, you weren't there, you don't know, but all I can say is from experience. And whether you're amateur, professional, whatever it might be, whatever stage you're at, making weight is making weight, and your body recovers in a certain way. And I remember doing weight really, really tough a few times. And this is the morning of the fight, so not 9 o'clock the 8 o'clock the previous morning. They're fighting at 10 o'clock the following night. So what's that? 20? Do the sums. It's 35 hours. So it's not that. This is doing on the morning of the fight, and then getting there and fight that night. And I can tell you that once you've weighed in and just replenished some of your, you replenish your fluids, and you've had something to eat, you'll be amazed at how good you feel. And it could just be something like, a sports drink, some water, there may be a bottle of Coke or something like that with some sugar in it. Some fruit, and then some, a good feed like pancakes and some steak or something like that. It's amazing how quick you feel a lot better. Even when I was fighting the amateurs, you do it every day. You might do it 3 or 4 times. So Tim only had to do it once, and hadn't fought 36 or 35 hours later. So although he did have to do it on the day, which is, again, he's put on 4 or 5 kilos, so he would be feeling pretty good. So I don't like when the reporters have sort of now started to roll that out. It's like they've just lost, it's almost like the Men in Black with the little gadget they put up and flash the light, and everything's forgotten. Now again, Tim probably made the mistake of fueling the fire a little bit by saying he was a walking zombie when he fought Bakram Murtazalia. But the one argument I will say with that is that, Bakram Murtazalia also was under the same clauses. He had to weigh in the previous morning and then not put on any more than 4 or 10 pounds either. And apparently he struggles to make the weight as well. So, and has had to do it during Ramadan as well. So I'm not trying to delay the boots into Tim for this, but I'm probably just a little bit concerned that already it's like this Super Tim is back, and the losses were for whatever reasons they were. And don't forget too, no matter what condition Tim was in for that fight, the game plan of Murtazalia had a hell of a lot to do with it too. Not to mention a little thing called a whipping left hook that dropped Tim how many times. So again, I'm not having a go at Tim here. It's more the media. It's the media I'm sort of talking about, where, and even some fans, I saw some fans comment too, yeah, see, I told you that's the only reason Tim lost. This is what we've got to get past. Those hopes for Tim. We all hope he does really well and gets back to where he was, but it's the expectations we've just got to taper, because as good as he looked against Joey Spencer is pretty much a club fighter. He's never had a significant win. His only other big fight he was in, he got blown out by Jesus Ramos Jr. as well. So put that fight aside. I want to see how Tim looks against Keith Thurman. That will tell all. Well, obviously it will, because if he wins out, he's back. If he's not, if he doesn't beat him, well, it's pretty much all over. But I just don't like what I'm seeing already with the tone coming from the media about Tim. Let's hope that they just keep it on the low, down low, and don't get their expectations too high, and can just let Tim do his job. Anyway, we'll move on. Another Aussie fighter, Sam Goodman. I read a story about him yesterday. And this is probably part of the fight game a lot of people don't sort of see or realise or anything like that, is the monetary penalties, I suppose you call it, of missing out on a big fight. Now, he said that he I think he was promised $1 million for the Inouye fight, and put a deposit down on a house, and it was all good. It was all going okay. Then, of course, the cut happens twice, and he's lost out on that payday. So now he's sort of basically said, well, I've got to fight. I've got to get a fight. Whether I'm ready or not, I've got to fight. I've got bills to pay. And I think he said he dropped, I think it was 100 grand on his last training camps. So, again, there are people who think these guys get paid all these millions of dollars, and some of them do. You know, the really top guys do get paid that amount of money, but not when you're at Sam Goodman's level. You get paid well, but not to the level of those other guys. So, and he also said that he's got a new nickname, the Stormtrooper, because of the head guard that he's been wearing to protect the eye. It's a big bulky thing that he has to wear. I suppose, question would be, is it Sam? Why didn't you use it when you got cut the first time? You know, I understand the accident happened for the first cut. I get that, and that was just an accident. But why didn't you put that Stormtrooper helmet on when the rematch was scheduled? I don't get it. Anyway, I'm sure he's got his own reasons, but yeah, it just sort of blew me away when I sort of read that. But it's good to see Sam back. That fight, by the way, the pay-per-view is, I think they've come to the senses a little bit with that, and it's $49.95. So I think we all thought, oh, geez, there's no way they can charge $70 for this. Well, they're not. They're charging $50, so it's a lot better. It looks a lot more attractive when you see it on the main event thing, and you can buy it. $50 is a lot better than 70, but are you going to buy it? That's the big question. So let us know whether that's going to be enough for you to buy the fight with Harry Garside Jr. Now, not Junior, Harry Garside, not Junior. I will say that I'm not sure, because in our venue at the pub, I sort of made a point of every fight I'm going to get it. Now, I'm going to be the place to go for these fights. If there's a fight on a pay-per-view or whatever it might be, I'm going to have it on. Truly try and make a home for the pub. But I've got to admit, the faith is wavering as far as that goes. I'm not sure I'm going to get, because if it's $50 for the general punter, the odds are it's going to be $500 or $600 to buy for a pub. And I'll be honest with you, I doubt whether we're going to get 3 people that come in to watch it. So I'm almost willing to stake my reputation on it. That to be the so-called home of combat sports in Bendigo. I'm willing to sort of put that title in jeopardy for that fight, because I'm not going to pay it. It's just ridiculous. I'm even up in the air about if I don't get it at the pub, whether I actually put it on at home. I'm just not excited by it. I mean, it's good to see Sam Goodman back. It's probably good to see Harry Garside back, but I mean, this Mexican, I think, will just be target practice for Sam, which is okay. He needs to fight back. I've got no dramas with the opponent whatsoever. 19-1, you know, okay record. He's going to be tough and hard. Typical Mexican. He'll give Sam a good fight, but I don't think he's got any chance whatsoever of actually beating Sam. And then the undercard with Harry. It's been good. They've pumped Harry up as far as his return goes. Though I haven't mentioned is his opponent. I think he's 5-1, but just do yourself a favour and go look at the guy's box record. I know Harry's been out of the pros for 3 years, so don't think I'm laying the boots into Harry. I'm just stating the facts. And the guy he's fighting will barely lay a glove on Harry, and Harry should probably even stop him pretty early, I would think. But anyway, if you want to pay it, then that's great, but I'm not sure I will anyway. All right, a couple other things. The no limit card. Now this has gathered a bit of traction. Now I saw yesterday D-Style, he actually tagged me in on a few things, and I put it on my Instagram, and yeah, with the girls. Now I didn't sort of know this. Let me pull up the no limit page. Now I did see, and D-Style pointed this out, that the fight card has got Jazzy Parr on it. Now where is it? Maybe it's not on their page. I haven't announced it yet. but she's apparently fighting a girl that she's already fought in the past. So rather than fight Shannon O'Connell again, who Shannon was more than happy to put the gloves on and give her a rematch, they've foregone that fight and they're going to fight someone that she actually dominated in her second or third fight. So that doesn't make sense. And then we've always spoken about Tszyu Robinson. You know, she should be a fighter that they're getting behind, and they're not. Actually, I might see if it's on BoxRec. Give me a sec here. We're going into overtime today because I want to check this out. I haven't really been too much on social media lately, just to put my own stuff up, but I was tagged in it, as I said. So let me just bring her up. Start get the ball rolling on some of these good female fights. There's good ones out there. We shouldn't have, you know, poor fights on these pay-per-views. If you're going to charge us $50 or $70, I want good fights. Of course. Okay, hang on. Give me a sec here. Overtime, double overtime. All right, where is it? All right, and it is raining at the moment, so my screen's all wet. And as you know, when your screen's wet, the letters don't work properly. All right. Come on, you can do it. All right, we might be there. Come on, any old time now. It's not like it. I think it's the rain. Oh no, hang on, we might be right. Hang on, there it is. We'll bring her up, see whether, yes, okay. I'll bring up the event and see what we've got, because No Limit. Holly McMath. Is that her name? McMath? All right, oh, okay, so we've got the full card. All right, so she's fighting, yeah, Holly McMath. So she fought her, where is it? Back in the second fight and won a one-sided second round decision. One-sided decision. That was her second fight. So she is 5-4. All right. She's actually got a fight planned for tonight. She's fighting tonight against Sarah Higginson. Then she's going to back up, 3 weeks later against Jazzy Parr. So anyway, I suppose the moral of the story is, why are they putting fights like that on when they can make really good fights? They've got Jazzy Parr fighting probably a young girl who's a battler. You know, she's 5-4, but she's also beaten her in her second fight, and she's developed a lot since then. And she's foregone that fight with Shannon O'Connell. And as I said, someone like Tszyu Robinson as well out there, and just not getting on the card. So No Limit. I think you got to pull your pants up a bit. Don't try and hoodwink us. Okay, we're paying good money. It's okay to put them on the Wednesday night shows, or the No Limit on Foxes. Do what you want on that, because it's free. When we're paying for these cards, we want quality fights. Put Tszyu Robinson on. Put Shannon O'Connell against Shannon. You've got the fight there. You've got Shannon O'Connell itching for the fight. So that's obviously we know who doesn't want the fight. Let's get it going. And as I said, put Tszyu Robinson on the card as well. So I'll back that up. So and you got the Americans over there, D-Style, joining the bandwagon. So let's get it going there, No Limit. And the other one is, lastly now, this is probably the biggest news of the day, actually. We've left it till last. This is Usyk and Dubois 2. Looks like it's going to happen on July 19th in England, Wembley Stadium in London, England. So, but then we've had Egis Klimas, the manager of Alexander Usyk, say, no, hold your horses, for the second time this is, because he's already said it. He said, no, not happening. It hasn't been confirmed, but every single news site is going with it, including the Ring magazine, which is obviously Turki Al-Sheikh's magazine. And normally anything to do with Riyadh season or anything to do with him always goes through the Ring. Although, having said that, I did say the other day that it could be Frank Warren actually promoting this fight. So, but normally if it comes from the Ring, you know it's fair income. A lot of sites just sort of bring out stuff based on rumours, but in this case, you would expect it to be true with all the sites going with it. But either way, they've said it's July, whatever Klima says, it does look like it's going to be July 19th, which makes it a massive few weeks for boxing, doesn't it? July 12th is the big show in New York, and then this one will be following that. So there was the Shiraz and Belunga and the Shakur Stevenson Williams Zapata card in New York, on July 12th. And this will be the week after that. So massive event. Then now all the potential lawsuits and threats will start with all the other heavyweight contenders out there who are all in line to fight for various titles, and Usyk or Dubois. But again, I think they forget that I think all sanctioning bodies all stipulate that a unification fight supersedes any mandatories or voluntaries out there that might be in place. So good to see. Yeah, I feel for Joseph Parker, but apparently he's going to be the co-main. So he'll get his a fight on that, and then he'll get his shot at the title against the winner. So still some big fights to be made this year, especially if Joshua and Fury comes over the line as well. We might have, well, let's just say Usyk wins, we might have Usyk Parker, and we might have Fury and Joshua. So some massive heavyweight fights coming towards the end of the year. But guys, that's going to do it on this very wet Saturday morning. I'm going to go inside and dry off. You probably can't see it in the background, but it's actually raining quite steadily at the moment. So, all right, guys, have a fantastic Saturday, and we'll catch you tomorrow.